Hi, this is Corina Angela, and I channel the higher heart. I just wanted to share this video. If you have subscribed, thank you so much. If you haven't, click on the button and subscribe now, okay? So thank you so much. Let's see, I just wanted to, deep dive into what came up as I was channeling this morning. And those of you that are getting acquainted with me, I just love it. This is great. It's yeah, fantastic, right? And the ones that have been with me and followed me for a long time, sorry, this is, a repeat of who I am, but right? I don't want to be repeating myself every time, but yeah, I think you have to do that, ever so often to, allow the new people coming in to get to know you, right? So I'm Corina Angela. I channel the higher heart. I've been a channel for many, many years. Been on this path for the last, 42 years now. My abilities, my spiritual abilities, and really the awakening, I guess you could say, came in when I was 7, between ages 7 and 9, and have been on this path ever since. It's been a really bumpy, long, windy, crazy, fun, exhilarating, joyous, and amazing journey. So I'm here to help support you and help you on your way and interject perhaps some light bulb moments, some new information that perhaps you've been searching for, or perhaps you are in a quandary and not quite clear of what to do, what the next step is. And perhaps you will find it here in these videos that I am sharing. I'm sharing my experience as I channel. I channel right as well as channel. And I've been doing this for many, many years. I get up every morning and channel right for in between 2 and 3 hours every morning. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've just dedicated myself to this process, and it's just really opened up so much in my life and on my journey here. I've been working on a book that I just completed, now going through the editing process and working on the second book, and have channeled it with Edgar Casey and Gladys Turner. And that has opened up so much, just so much information, and being receptive to it and sharing it out. So it's just been a fascinating process. So I'm in a place right now in my life, in my business, of really helping other people learn and grow and expand their consciousness and help them in ways to connect to their own amazement, coming back to center, coming back to their source, and really exploring and connecting to their true self. So that's a little blip about me. And there's an informational video here I have posted as well. So if you want to learn more about me, or please just ask away. You can ask tons of questions. I love questions. Okay. So today I just wanted to share what came up as I was channeling this morning. And I'll kind of walk you through my channeling process a bit. And then I wanted to answer a question that came up yesterday, which I'm very pleased to answer and connect with that question. So today, when I was channeling and channel writing, I basically, I guess I can just back up with my process. It's been a long journey, and I guess I'll just answer the question first, and then we'll go into what I channeled this morning. How's that? Okay, in a roundabout way. Sorry. Anyway, the question was, when I refer to up and out, I ground myself, and then I usually, go up and out. And so the question was, where do I go? Where is up and out? Do I actually go out of my body? What happens? And thank you for this question. It's a fantastic question, absolutely. And it helps me to articulate my process, because we as channelers, for those of you that channel, it becomes second nature to us. It becomes just natural, and we tend to not articulate our words and explain our process. So these questions, I really invite and encourage questions, because as we ask more questions, we're expanding our consciousness, we're expanding our abilities in that moment, you know. It's that energy exchange. So it's fantastic. So ask away. Always ask questions. It's good to ask questions, right? So to answer that, let's see. So I go through a grounding process, and mind you, it takes me just a few seconds. But you can really, if you're trying to learn how to channel, there's a variety of different ways to learn how to channel. But it's really important for you to choose one that resonates with you, because I know there's so many courses out there and books and CDs and YouTube videos and all of that. But for you to really focus in on what resonates with you and what works for you, because everybody is unique, everybody is different, everybody learns different ways, right? So I'll just share my own experience, and perhaps something that I share will resonate with you in some way, and then you'll start to, you know, put the pieces of the puzzle together and find a rhythm for yourself, find a channeling process for yourself that works specifically for you. Okay, so that's been a big part of my journey, is finding what works for me. And I started meditating when I was in my teenage years. So when I was a teenager, I started meditating. And how I was taught how to meditate is sit in a chair, flat feet on the floor, and your spine erect, and it was really uncomfortable for me. It hurt my back. I didn't feel comfortable in the chair, so on and so forth. So I began to alter it a bit, and find a position that my body felt really good in, and that I could sustain the posture, right? Because it is very important that you keep your spine erect, okay? And that could be laying down, that could be sitting, that could be standing, whatever it is, right? But you need to find that position for yourself. So as I began as a teenager meditating and learning, I was learning along my way. Now, this grounding exercise that I learned many, many years ago, I've tweaked it over the years, of course, but it's all about, just bringing in the energy through my crown chakra, coming all the way down to my body, through my body, and going all the way down my legs, opening up my feet chakra, and then grounding that energy into Mother Gaia, into Earth, into planet Earth, into the core of the Earth, however you foresee Earth grounding to you. It could be dirt, you could be grounded in dirt, whatever it is. It could be a tree. You could be thinking of a tree, or smelling the earth, or whatever it is for you, whatever grounding technique that you use, just to really focus in on grounding yourself. So that's what I do. I just pretty much go this way, ground, done, and it takes a couple seconds. Now then I go up and out. So what does that mean, up and out? It's been a really long process to go up and out, because I can go up and out in a few seconds. And as I began many, many, many years ago, in my teenage years, I began to meditate. Now, I'll just go through the whole process, and then you can, put pieces together that will work for you. But through my meditation process, it was all about the breath, focusing in on the breath, focusing in on the breath. So that was the first thing that I really focused in on, and getting comfortable in my body. That was very, very important for me, to really get comfortable within my own body and connecting to myself, to my body, my physical body, Okay. So that was the first step for me. And then I went beyond that, and then I started listening to, visual cassettes at the time. I'm dating myself. It's so funny. Long time ago. I would buy these cassettes and listen to them and go through, visuals, meditation, journeys, meditation, journeys. And I would listen to these tapes, and at first nothing, I just was like, okay, follow along, breathe, 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 right? And then over time, I didn't need the tapes anymore. I didn't need, and then I went into music, needed music, always needed music, right? Needed white noise, needed music, harp music, all of that. And I went through the whole genre of music, different music, angelic music, soft music, classical music, whatever it was. And I would meditate that way. And then it went to the next phase of I needed to clear Chatty Cathy out of my head. I had monkey mind like crazy. And it was all about quieting the mind, not thinking anything, no thoughts. Thought came up, push it out. Thought came up, push it out, right? So constantly, through meditation, my meditation practice, this is what I would do. And it got to a point where I didn't need music. I needed absolute silence. So that's when I started really opening up to different phases, let's say, at that point. And I just continued on my process. And, sometimes it was every day. Sometimes it was once a week. Sometimes it was just on the weekends. And I wasn't 100% committed. I meditated when I could, right? And it felt really good. It was great. And I would always I would always start where I left off. So that to me was forward moving. That to me, I felt like I was doing something, something was shifting. I was getting results, right? So through this process, my meditation process, no sound, I didn't need any sound. Now the thoughts were very tricky because again, I had massive monkey mind. A lot of information was, going through my head and it was very heady. It was very heady. And I was given this meditation visualization, and it was really profound. At first, it was very difficult for me to do, and I'll share it here because it was really it really shifted a lot. It made a huge impact and difference. So maybe someone out there, this will help, and maybe you've already heard of this. I'm sure you have. I think Deepak Chopra, was it? I think he taught this exercise years ago. But I would take myself up and out. Okay. So I would ground myself and just become, just very still and quiet and focusing in on my breath and then visualizing myself out in space. Okay. So I just project myself out in space, and I had these two planets. So there was one planet here, one planet there. I didn't describe them. They were planets. Okay. Didn't put a name on it. I didn't focus on the color, nothing of that sort. I just knew that there was two planets. Now I was here and I had to jump very slowly in slow motion over to the other planet. And in between this time, I could not think of a thought. Okay. So that was a meditation. Whoa. Took me a long time to really just master this. And then it's not even mastering. It's just, getting results of not thinking a thought. Okay. So I did that for a long time, because beyond that, you master something else. You don't really master anything. You just get better and better and better and better. Right. So that was a brilliant eye-opening exercise for myself to alleviate the thoughts. So once I did, the jump, and it was a short jump in the beginning. It was just like this little, slow motion, no thoughts. And I couldn't even saying no thought. It was like blank slate, nothing. There was nothing happening in my brain. There was nothing. It was nothingness, right? So then the next level was to spread out the planets, make them further and further and further away. Again, jumping slow motion from one planet to the other with no thoughts in between. So that was a pivotal piece for me that really came in to my practice. Huge, just huge shift. And then I learned to control that piece of it and having that nothingness. And where was that nothingness going to take me, right? That's when I started to go up and out, as I say. That's when I started to project myself in different dimensions, different realms, I found myself able to direct where I'd like to go. And of course, I do this is with the help of my guides and very connected to my team and my galactic team, so on and so forth. So I had a lot of guidance there. But for me, it was being 100% committed with the no thought process. That was really imperative for me to learn that. And it took me a while, absolutely. It did take me a while. So going through that process really helped a lot. So that started the opening, just the opening of me able to connect to different realms, connect to and see different things, and travel and time travel, all of that. It just evolved over time, really. It really did. So I do go places. I don't even, it's like reality to me. It's as it started, it was maybe snapshots or colors or feelings or sensations. And then after the no thought process into the nothingness, it just became just as we see around us now, like everything around it just became that tangible, touchable, physical, and then non-physical. It could shift in any moment. The Akashic records, going to the Akashic records, seeing all the records, seeing all of that, being physically in that place and being non-physical in the same realm. And then connecting with different guides and different spirits, different entities, and all of that. So that has been, it's been quite a process. And for me now to channel is just really grounding myself and then going up and out. And I can give you more details perhaps in another video, but that's a snapshot of the process that I have been through, and really dedicating myself, and going through the struggles, because sometimes it's difficult and hard. I remember, I'll share this because this is really interesting. At one phase of my journey of really connecting into myself and learning all of these processes, my guides led me to this cave, and it was down in the earth. It was down in the underworld. And in shamanic practice, there's the underworld, the middle world, and the upper world. And I had been, when I was 16, I began to learn shamanic practices and went to my first sweat lodge and all of that. So I was really, really deep rooted into Mother Gaia and learning as much as I could and really expanding and opening up to new possibilities. So through my meditation practice, and at this point it was bridging on journeying, because the way I explain it, or how I can describe it. My journey, at least, has been, the breathing, meditating, going into deep meditation, then going into journeys, then going into channeling. So that's pretty much the road that the path that I've been on for many, many years, and how it's unfolded. So when I was learning all about shamanic practices, and whatever practices that you're training with, learning new modalities with, it will impact your meditations. It will impact your journeys. So that's something to remember and think about, because it's really interesting the way you'll travel with that energy, right? Anyway, going back to shamanic practices, my guides through a meditation, a journey at this point, took me into this journey, and I was in the underworld, and I was in a cave, and all my guides were around me, and I could see them. I could absolutely see them. Some were energy, some were in physical form, some were, they were just kind of all there around me. And I was in the middle, and it was a dirt. It was just this cave. It was this beautiful cave, not too dark. I could see, there was light, not really light, but, dim light. It's, a cave, if you will, my cave. And I sat in the middle, Indian style, and crisscross applesauce. And I sat there, and all my guides would just wait. They were just so patient with me. And some days I would go into this journey, and I would just sit there, and nothing would happen. And I'm like, what is going on? I would just sit there and focus and breathe, and nothing was happening. I'm like, I'm in a cave. I'm sitting on this dirt. It's feeling kind of warm, but nothing's happening. What's going on? Where am I going to go anywhere? And I wasn't ready. And I just sat there. So I was in that cave for a while, let me tell you. But as I evolved, as I was learning, as I was processing, as I was integrating all of this information, all these experiences, I started allowing, I started asking, and then I started receiving. So pretty soon I would stand up, and then if I was tapping in to my body, perhaps my body wasn't feeling good at the time, then all my guides would, put up their hands and just send me energy and heal that place in my body that didn't feel good. And then it was all sensory. So it would shift into the sensory of all this amazing healing. What was I feeling? What was I thinking? What was I not thinking? What was I receiving? So they would go through this whole process with me of just many, many different levels of how to feel sensations. So they were teaching me through this whole process. Now, some of the meditations within the cave, there was just numerous meditations, journeys, if you will, of me in the cave and going through all of these different processes. And what was I ready for, right? What was I willing to open up to? Okay. So I just wanted to share that. And the cave, that was many, many years ago. I visit it sometimes, but not too often. And, but it was a very special time. It was, going to that cave. It was like going to your special place every day or a couple times a week, or, how often I was there learning as much as I could and expanding and evolving. So it's fascinating. Oh, reminiscing now. Anyway, so for me now, channeling is just about connecting. So how it's evolved, channeling, I've been channeling for a long time, and it evolves. Even channeling evolves. Like, you begin with the breathing. Then you meditate, you go through various different levels of meditation, and then you go through various different levels within your journey, and you can go journey into it, another journey, as I have for a long time. And then channeling, same thing. You know, you can, there's so many different levels and ways that you can channel. And it's all a matter of, you know, what are you open to? What are you open to receive? And trusting. I think for my whole process, it's all about trusting what was coming in, trusting my guides, trusting myself. And that's been a lifelong process. It really has been. And for all of us here, it's a lifelong process. While we're here, we're trusting ourselves more and more and more, and deeper and deeper and deeper as we go. So I hope that answers your question in a very roundabout, very full way. I hope that was helpful. Perhaps, if you're learning to channel, fantastic. You know, get a rhythm for yourself. Get committed. That's the one thing too. The more time that is expanded, you know, if you miss a couple days, if you miss a week, if you miss 2 weeks, you will come back to where you started or where you left off from, but the connection will have to be strengthened. And that's what I've found over time channeling. And now the more you do it, the more you're channeling, the stronger and stronger and stronger the connection is. So you're up and out and you're there immediately. So best advice I would give to any beginner channeler: find a rhythm that works for you, find a process that works for you, and set clear intentions. What is your intention for channeling? You know, are you trying to tap into a certain guide, let's say? Are you trying to tap into a certain being that you want to bring through? What kind of channeler do you want to be? Do you want to be a trance channeler? Do you want to be an open channeler? You know, do you want to be the channelers that close their eyes and, you know, and they're completely in their body, but they never open their eyes? They're seeing through their third eye, right? So there's you know, open channels are walking and they're an open channel and they're very alert, walking and talking and all of that, and they're bringing through that entity, that they're bringing through that stream of consciousness. And perhaps their voice will change octaves. And so there's different ways that you can channel, but again, it comes back to you. You are one of a kind. You are the only you, right? So whatever resonates with you, what is going to work with your lifestyle, your body, what is going to work for your body? You know, perhaps bringing in a being into your body doesn't feel good and you don't like that sensation, don't do it. Right? Perhaps you want to be an open channel and walk on stage and, you know, be an open channel, and that feels really invigorating to you, and it's very clear, it's very precise. The clarity comes through and the stream of consciousness is incredibly clear. Fantastic, go with it. But again, it's picking and choosing the pieces to your puzzle and what will resonate with you and your body and your mind, your spirit and your soul. Okay, so just wanted to share that, and I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please ask away. Again, you know, keeping the curious mind, curious heart open, and having that connection with both, and allowing to have the information come in and to receive it with a higher heart. Okay, so I'm going to end this video, and then I'm going to actually record another video of what came through today as I was channeling. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. All of you channelers out there that are just learning or are wanting to learn or just fascinated with the process, fantastic. You know, find your rhythm, find what works for you, and commit to it and have fun with it. That's the beautiful piece of it, to really enjoy the process, be in that open stream of consciousness and allowing it to come through. And oh, it's just fascinating. It opens up so much. It really, really does. And to be patient with yourself, be patient. Yes, I'm still learning patience after all of these years and through my whole process. And I'm still on this process, and it's just, if you try it and it doesn't work, try it again. It's okay, right? If you need to sit in a cave for years and just sit there, nothing's happening, keep at it, because there's going to be the day that something just bursts open and you're going to be like, yes, right? Same thing with the planets, and no thought. That's such an amazing exercise, just get to that nothingness, quieting the mind. And that's such a brilliant, brilliant exercise for those of you that do have the chatty Cathy and the monkey mind and cannot quiet your mind. Brilliant, brilliant exercise. I highly recommend it. And it will help you so much in your channeling years. Believe me, it will. All right. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, push that button right now and subscribe to my channel. All right. Thank you so much. And I will speak to you soon. All right. Connect soon. Thank you.